In this video, I'm going to show you how to create Sparklines and how to do data bars. Now, Sparklines is something that's been around since the 2010. I'm not sure about 2007, but Sparklines allow you to kind of create like a chart within a cell. And it's really good when you have a lot of information that you want to show a trend, but not necessarily create a chart for each one of those. So this is good for a lot of information. Let's say you're trying to show a trend of a stock over, or a series of stocks over 10 years. So when creating Sparklines, a Sparkline is a chart that is displayed entirely within a worksheet cell. Sparklines are very compact, so they don't allow you to do things like add legends, add accesses, grid lines, titles, and things like that. And keep in mind, the goal of a Sparkline chart really is to convey maximum to minimum, to show a span rather than individual data points. So let me go ahead and show you how to do a Sparkline. So what we're going to do is we're going to show a 10-year trend. So in this sector history, this is the trend for the various sectors and subsectors. All right. So we're going to come back over here and we're going to go ahead and just add a title. I'll do 10-year history. Okay. And we'll format it to look just like our other column headings. Okay, now to do a Sparkline, what you want to do is you're going to highlight the cells that you want the Sparklines to be placed in first. So that's your first step. Then we're going to go to the Insert tab, although we could do the quick analysis. We'll just use the Insert tab. And on the right-hand side there, you have a group called Sparklines. We're going to go ahead and choose a line Sparkline. So by already highlighting our section, it's already placed that in our dialog box. So we just need to tell it where to find the data that we want to plot. So you can see we've got information services, manufacturers, and we've got all the sectors within. So I'm going to go ahead and click on the sector history sheet. And let's just go ahead and highlight everything. Now we're going to highlight just the numbers. You're not going to highlight the dates or the column headings, but note that this is listed in the same order as what's on my ST sector sheet. So I have information services manufacturing and then the sub sectors underneath it. Alright, so you want to make sure the order is the same as well. So this time we're just highlighting the numbers. So we're not highlighting the labels or anything like that. Again, keep in mind we don't work with all those chart elements. So the data range that we're plotting as Sparklines, this is the range. It's on the sector history sheet, and it cells B6 through M45, and this is the location that's going to go into. So I'll go ahead and click OK, and there they are. Keep in mind, we highlighted from Information Services Manufacturing. That was the same order as what we have over here, Information Services Manufacturing, and then the subsectors. We have the sector categories and then the sectors within. Software, hardware, media, telecom. Same order. Okay, so you want to make sure the data is in the same order as well. Alright, so now we have our lovely Sparklines. Alright, and you can, if you want to, you can expand the column. If you want to make it a little larger, you can do that. Now here's the other neat thing. You do have a Sparkline Tools tab in which you can enhance the appearance of the Sparklines. So if you just want to show the high points from each of those sectors, you can click on in the Show section High Point, and you'll see it'll place a dot for the high point. If you want to do a low point, you can do the same thing here with low point. You also have these different styles that you can include. Alright, so if you want to change the colors, you can change the colors. All sorts of things. You can change the marker colors as well. So if you want the high points to be let's just say orange, we can go back to the markers and choose low points, and we can make them black. And let me just zoom this in a little bit more to make it easier for you guys to see. And you can also change the Sparkline colors as well. Alright, so if you want to change the Sparkline colors, you can change the Sparkline colors. You go back and highlight that. And once you highlight the cells that contain the Sparklines, then you get the Design tab for the Sparkline tools, and then you can come back and make more changes as well. So it's completely up to you what you want to include. And again, you can show or hide these markers. Obviously I wouldn't do markers because that's for every point and that looks very confusing. You might just want to do the high-lows. You can do first point, last point. That doesn't make any sense to me, but I would probably do the high and the low. If you had some negatives in there, you can also include that as well. And then you can mess with the access. So all sorts of things that you guys can do with this one. If you want to change it from a line to a column, then you can do a column. You can do a win-loss. That's really good for stocks. We'll go ahead and do the line. You need to edit the data. You click on Edit Data, and then you can go ahead and edit from here as well. So that is your Sparklines. So Sparklines are pretty cool. They stay within the cell. And again, you want to make sure if you're going to use it for something like this that you have the alignment correct, so you have your labels in order. Let's go ahead and do a data bar now. Let me go ahead and zoom this out just a little bit. Alright, a data bar is pretty cool. It's going to allow you to basically do conditional formatting, is what it really is, within the cells. So I'm going to highlight the cells. Let me zoom out one more time here. I'm going to highlight the cells underneath New Century, and then I'm going to go to the Home tab, Conditional Formatting, Data Bars. Now I like the gradient fills, so I'm going to go ahead and choose gradient fills. So it combines kind of like a little mini chart in with the numbers in the cell as well, so you can also do that visual comparison without creating an actual chart. And we'll do the same thing with the S&P, and I'm just pressing the F4 function key in hopes that it would repeat it, but no, it's not going to because I clicked around. Let's go back up to conditional formatting, data bars, and gradient. So this is a Sparkline, and once you select those cells, you'll get the Design tab for the Sparkline. If you want to change the appearance of that Sparkline, you can. These are data bars, and it's just that lovely conditional formatting that you guys did. I believe it was in Chapter 2. But again, you know, it's pretty fun. You can add all sorts of color scales to it as well. So there's a lot of different things you can do. These are really fun to do. The thing with the Sparklines, you do need to make sure that you understand that what you're doing is you're plotting a lot of data. Alright, so you're plotting a tremendous amount of data that just does not make sense to do some kind of a regular chart. Although you could do a chart with this one, you're going to have to really do some condensing of that data, maybe by years. So a Sparkline might be best, especially if you're kind of doing a comparison over individual funds compared to maybe a longevity of history with it as well. So Sparklines, conditional formatting, and that's just referred to as data bars. So have fun with it.